What's going on, guys? Jacob Orth back here with another video of Jacob's Life in Vegas, coming to you guys from the Las Vegas Strip. Actually, before we get walking this way, I'll give you guys a shot of the arches here. There you go. You guys can see they're coming along pretty well here. Still got some construction going on, but progress is being made. But that's not what this video is about today. This video, guys, today is talking about what's going on here in Nevada with the virus, talking about our Governor Steve Sisolak here in Nevada, and stuff that may or may not be coming out of Carson City in the future. So if you guys haven't subscribed to this channel yet, go ahead and subscribe, because there's so much going on in Vegas. It seems like it's day to day when things are changing around here, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So as I cruise the north end of the strip over here, and I'm talking about the virus and what the effect it's been having on Vegas lately. Now, a lot of the stuff I'm going to be talking about is Vegas related. Good, bro. A little busy though. Love you too. It's Vegas related, but it is happening really all over the country. As you guys have seen, numbers like with the virus going up all across the country. Numbers for the virus have been going up. Cases have been going up. Now, that's one thing that has been causing a lot of alarm and a lot of concern for people. And that's different, though, than the number of deaths going up. So that's something to keep an eye on, because I'll talk about this every so often, cases going up, virus numbers and things like that. And people will comment and they'll say, well, it's not the number of, just the people who have contracted the virus is necessarily as important as the number of deaths from the virus that are going up. So that's something big to keep a lookout for. Also, some of the concern is because recently Governor Sisolak had encouraged everyone to stay home for the next 2 weeks, and basically saying through a string of numerous tweets that he had put out that, if people didn't stay home, or that if the virus numbers got worse is what it was. If the virus numbers got worse, if people weren't wearing their masks, when they were within 6 feet of people and stuff like that, that he was going to possibly have to take further action. And he did say that he didn't want to take any further action, but that he feels if it's necessary that he will do that here in Nevada. Now, then also 3 days later, Governor Sisolak was reported to have gotten the virus himself. So Governor Sisolak has the virus here in Nevada, and some people, there's debate about that, where some people think, I was talking to some locals the other day who think that, part of the, revealing that he has the virus may be so that later he could possibly come back and say, hey, we need to shut down again. Some people may think that he may be trying to use that as some kind of fuel to shut down Nevada again, because another state not too far from here, New Mexico, not sure if you guys have followed, they are actually shut down for 2 weeks per their governor in New Mexico. So when certain things around our states nearby us start to happen like that, that's usually not a good sign. So if you guys remember, that was part of the issue going on when California and California and Arizona both had high numbers of cases going on. A lot of people were concerned about what that meant for Nevada, how it was going to affect Nevada. And even when Nevada reopened, California did not change, when they reopened, they didn't change their standards nearly as much as Nevada. They weren't quite as lax. So there's really just a lot of concern of what's going to happen here. If something's are going to basically be canceled, if people that are planning to come for Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, if all that's going to be canceled. It's been kind of a wacky scenario, because the governor has faced a lot of criticism, as you guys have maybe seen some of the videos and photos floating around Twitter, where there's lots of times where he's been seen without wearing his mask in restaurants or public places and things like that. So he's gotten a lot of criticism for that. So there's been a recall petition. I talked to one local the other day who says she signed it twice because she doesn't like Governor Sisolak and what he has done. So it's a tough time for a lot of politicians all across the country, and then Nevada is no different. A lot of people also are upset because as it pertains to our neighboring state next door, California, Governor Sisolak, to a lot of people, feel like that whatever Gavin Newsom does, they feel like Governor Sisolak is going to wind up doing the same thing. So there's quite a few people who feel like he's just following whatever Gavin Newsom does, and he's not exactly the most popular guy in California right now either. So we're in a weird spot right now where, will some of these holiday times be canceled? We don't know. And it's also just strange too, because recently there were news of shows coming back to town, right? So a couple of strip clubs have opened or planning to reopen. Someone that has been in the news too. So it's just bizarre that you have some businesses trying to reopen. You have some casinos like MGM decided for some of their properties to join the club of some of the other ones who decided to shut down some of their places during the weekdays and things like that. So it's really just this bizarre up and down of places deciding to open and close and stuff like that, among all the places that have gone out of business since this has happened too. So what's going to happen in the near future for a lot of people who reach out and they're like, hey, I'm planning to come during Christmas, should I come? Or New Year's, or I'm coming in February, March, should I come? Is it going to be shut down? We really don't know. And the next couple weeks I think are going to be very telling, because a lot of it's going to depend on how just really what the governor decides to do. And I talked to one local the other day. She said she thinks that the news came out about him having the virus because she feels like he doesn't want to talk to the press, because it's a tough time. It's a tough time for politicians right now, particularly at the state level, and tough time for these governors who had to decide to shut their states down. So it's tough also too, because you have to think about, I'm sure these big casinos, these businesses here, they want to try to get whatever money they can. They want to do what they can to stay open and keep their business open. Big businesses and small businesses alike. So they don't want to shut down again. So again, it puts, a governor in a tough spot to decide whether or not to shut down again, or whether or not, because if you do shut down again for 2 weeks, how much impact is that going to have? How much impact is it going to have if we just shut down for 2 weeks versus before we shut down for 2.5 months? And if we do shut down for 2 weeks, how much is that going to hurt businesses who are just barely making it by right now? Because there's lots of businesses who are barely making it. They're trying to avoid being members of the other businesses who've gone out of business during this time, who've been hit so hard financially that they couldn't make it. So. And then if we shut down again, that brings up an issue of the unemployment, because that was a disaster. That was a complete fiasco back when we were shut down and people were trying to get their state unemployment here. That was such a huge mess. So if we do that again and people are out of work again, how is that going to work? Where's the money going to come from for that? So it's a weird time we're in. So is Vegas going to be shut down for Thanksgiving? Is it going to be shut down for Christmas? Is the governor going to, come out tomorrow and say we're going to shut down for weeks? Is he going to wait a couple weeks and come and say, hey, we're doing better? Or wait a couple weeks and come back and say, hey, we're going to shut down for the rest of the year? Who knows? But there's a lot up in the air right now, and I would encourage you to follow along. This next week or two should be pretty big when it comes to virus numbers, when it comes to our governor's health with the virus and what he decides to do. It's going to be big here the next couple of weeks for Las Vegas. So I appreciate you guys watching this video. I appreciate you guys following along with me. Remember, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so. Okay, I like to bring some of this content to you guys. I like to just cruise around Las Vegas Boulevard here and show you guys some cool spots while I'm at it. So nonetheless, thank you guys for following me. If you guys want to watch another cool video, I'll put one right over there you can check out. That is it for this video. I am Jacob, and this is my life in Vegas.